Hello and welcome. Hope you're doing all right. I am doing all good. Been a busy Christmas and New Year. Hope everyone had a good one. With regards to weather-wise, everyone's posting these things about -6s and snow and all that. We had no snow here, no -6s. Got down to about -3, but I don't think it did in the garden. So not too much damage. A few little bits have gone, not completely. Hopefully you can probably see the blackened fronds and the cyathea there behind that post towards the fence. So yeah, got away with it. It's not over yet. So yeah, let's have a little go through. You can see I've started my waterfall in the fact that I hunted out one of the bar stools and got a few blocks just to start eyeing stuff up. That's going to be a separate video, so we won't go into that now, but it's on the horizon. And there'll be a nice funky competition in that video as well to win a super special prize if they survive up on the windowsill. So yeah, going forward, new year, can start thinking about stuff, to do. So short term really is these two pots that are here. I did mention last time I'm a bit worried about them rotting the bottom of the posts, even though I have taken precautions. I think what I'm going to do initially, because everything in this pot on the left is dead, I think what I'm going to do is chop the passion flower down, pot that up somewhere else and see if it recovers, and then take all the soil out, lift up the pot. Because what I did with these is I put the posts in the ground, then I chopped a square out the bottom of the pot and then threaded it over the top of the post, and then I built the pergola after. So if I take them off, that's it. I'll have to cut them off. So I think initially what I might do is, as I said, empty everything out of it, lift the pot up, see what the state of the wood's like. If it's okay down there and it just looks a bit rough, but there's no structural damage, I could probably drop it back down and put something else in there and leave this one as this passion flower still alive. If the wood's half rotted, then yeah, obviously I'll take this one off as well and chop them out. And then, worst case scenario, if I have to do that, what I might do is lift a couple of these slabs that aren't cemented down, the ones I put down, just see how wide the concrete is and see if I can get something in there. I've got a hydrangea samanii that I'll hopefully pull through at the back, which we'll see in a minute. If not, just ivy. I've got tons of ivy, so that's a really good one as well. Otherwise, short term, the bananas, I'm just bamboo, I'm just mocking up where they're going to go. You can see one of them's right there and then one of them's directly behind it. We'll get a better view of what they're going to do when we're up on the patio. It's kind of just to enclose the space, but from this point of view, as in we're looking sort of from the house at them, it's quite nice because if they're in there, I'll keep them in the pots and just sink the pots, but it adds a nice bit of sort of structure to the middle of the garden, which will mean that in my endless quest to find a specimen evergreen plant to put in the center of that middle bed, where the banana is at the moment, the banana is the best one to go in there, but the reason I don't want it in there is because they go like that over winter and look a bit rough. But if it's got already evergreen structure behind it, I'm not going to be hopefully massively offended by the fact that it dies off in the winter. So yeah, it seems like a good idea. The Schefflera that's behind all of that up by the Clematis almandii, which we'll see as well, same thing. If that doesn't pull through, I might put a banana in there. And of course the irony of it all was that when I had the bananas in this bed, the middle bed, and this one on the right where the honeysuckle is, I was chopping the pups off left, right and centre and giving them away. Now I need another banana. I haven't got any pups left over. So yeah, that's it. I'll have to buy one or maybe wait for that one to grow and chop off another one. But it all depends what's going to happen with that Schefflera. Medium to long term, I need to sort out some of this roofing stuff. Ignore the mess over there. You can see I've put my drip deflector 3000 in. It's essentially, as I said last time, the last bit of the roof on the pergola, just in that section, doesn't actually finish over the gutter. So it drips on the joist, as you can see, and drips down and swells all this wood up. So I need to get that sorted. It was always going to be a bit of a problem here because this sort of section of roofing, I'll put a section of roof on this as well. Just because the bar stool, if I put a bar stool where that chair is next to the bar, it can still sort of be used in the rain, and that should help deflect a lot of it as well when the rain comes from a certain direction. But it was always going to be a problem because essentially it's two roofs at different angles next to each other. So we'll sort of do the minimum, bodge up that corner where the guttering is, put a bit of thing on, roofing on this, see what happens, and then go from there. If I need to, like, you know, I don't know, put some flashing or something there, then we'll do that. But we'll take baby steps on that. And then on the roofing as well, over here, you can probably see the dartboard. The top right corner of it is a bit wet. The fence is all wet. There's a massive load of debris on top of that. Not surprising because it's under a tree, but I should really probably get up there and sweep it all off or get rid of it all. I got a good feeling that that would be quite a nice mulch, that sort of stuff. So yeah, we'll see how we do. But let's get on to the plants and see how we've done. So I've just got the Norfolk Island pine and the Tetrapanax pup out of their cover. They were just under the pergola, just to give them a drink, really. It's funny, this Norfolk Island pine, the two lower sets of leaves are the ones that came with it. This top stuff is new from like the last year or two, and you can see the difference in how they're coping with the cold weather. So yeah, where that fatsia is there, because I wanted that fatsia, it's not in the ground, it's in a pot, you can probably just see that. I'm going to probably chuck that over in the corner just to act as a cover, because I've got two Cyathias, a Dixonia lophosauria up there, and it does act as a good sort of initial protection against frost for future reference. So I'll probably chuck him up in that corner, and then I may try that Norfolk Island pine in the ground there and then fleece it up over winter and see what happens. You know, what have I got to lose apart from a Norfolk Island pine? So yeah, moving on round. Let's start over here. Here's looking really good. You can see my two clips on the fence there, which I use just to strap the fleece to, and then I just drape it over. In here is doing all right. And the Pholoppus has survived down there. You can see by the light green, it's still growing. The blue fern down there seems to be doing all right. I don't want to move that leaf off it yet, though, because it's acting as protection. Tetrapanax has kept all its leaves. Even the small giant honeysuckle at the back there is doing all right. And better yet, I put a cheese plant down here, which seems to have sort of half done okay. So I might chuck a cheese plant in there, because they do look jungly. They're never going to survive outside, but that's quite a, not a microclimate, but you know, it's close to the house and the fence on two edges. Got the Tetrapanax, so I can drape the fleece over it to keep the wind out. So it might do a job there. And then hopefully my only problem will be getting the leaves, because the leaves will want to face the sun, and it'll be getting the leaves to face the house. So I'll probably dig a little hole there, sink the pot in, let it grow for a year, and then next year spin the pot around effectively and put it in the ground then, so that the first sets of leaves are sort of facing the house. But yeah, Dixonia's doing all right. Camellias, again, starting to bud up now, so that's all good. They do a job, these camellias. I think I might get a couple more and sprinkle them through the garden, because they're just a nice, I don't want to do them a disservice and say background plant, but you know, they're a nice background plant. So most importantly, the giant honeysuckle seems to have survived. Worryingly though, there's a lot of leaves falling off. It is quite windy today. I'm hoping a lot of that's come off the deadwood, but we shall see. Sago palm's doing okay, hasn't had any protection. This camellia started flowering already. You probably won't get just how scarlet red that is. It looks a bit pink on the viewfinder, but or on the phone I should say, we're not that posh. So yeah, but you know, they had that sprinkling of colour, and it sort of brings in the new year for me, seeing the camellia flowers. So on the giant honeysuckle, for the most part, I'm surprised all of this has survived. I was thinking it was all going to be a shell of itself, but we have got dead bits here and there and on the top, and we'll see the other side, but for the most part it seems okay. So the Dixonia Antarctica, that was under the cover when we had the heavy frost. I've just brought him back out here because that's where he's going to go. I've got this little thing down here, gap down there. I was last time playing about putting in the cheese plant. When we have a look at that cheese plant in a minute, we'll see that it's probably not good to go in there because it's all black. So something else would go in there. Ideally, I'm starting to like learn lessons. Ideally, because I'm going to be watering the Dixonia quite a lot, I probably don't want something like a cheese plant in there anyway, because it'll get overwatered. So I've got hopefully the gingers, the Hedychium greenii, which is a purple one, is still alive out the front. So I'll dig that up and chuck him in there, and that's full sun. So hopefully we might get some good little filler off of that. Clematis armandii, still looking jungly, still bugged up, budded up, still hasn't grown on my wires any more than I strapped it up on. So we'll see if we get some more growth off that. Hopefully it will catch, and we'll go from there. This is one of the new ferns, the Todia barbara. Completely my fault. It was on the kitchen windowsill with the rest, which are doing fine, but when we had Christmas we needed the space, so I moved it into the lounge onto a unit. Forgot about it for 3 days over Christmas. It was too close to a radiator and all browned off. Some of it's starting to recover now a little bit, but yeah, I'm 50-50 on whether that one's going to pull through. But yeah, we'll see. Slightly annoying because that's super rare, that fern, but yeah, it is what it is. Up there, yeah, that's all tied into the waterfall, so we'll go through that another time. If we move on to the centre bed, so that Fatsia, yeah, when we've put the Norfolk Island pine in there, oh yeah, these bamboos. So yeah, if I'm sat down in my seat and this is south facing, so in the sun, in the summer, the sun sort of goes over that way. That's a lovely sky for first thing in the morning. I think if I shove those bamboos in the ground, as in sink the pots, not plant them in the ground, I may even divide them up and just, have 4 of them effectively, and then I can dot a few more about somewhere. But that looks pretty good, I reckon. It encloses the space a little bit. And then in there, yeah, we'll just see how that goes. I'm still kind of undecided on that, but the Dixonia fibrosa I've taken out and just put in that hole that I'm keeping for a tree fern that I will probably never get. So moving on around here, the Norfolk Island pine, the Willemi pine is doing good as we creep through the bamboo gate. This clematis is doing okay. Lophosaurus survived, that didn't have any protection. The Schefflera, I mean, it's looked like that for about 6 months now, so we'll see what happens in the spring with that. Like I said, if I have to change that for a banana, then I will do. And I've got, the canna, I've just uncovered the canna just because I used the old canna leaves to protect it, but they were all soggy, so I didn't want it rotting through. So they're all clear now, so that should get a bit of air down to it. Pilostagia verbanoides looking great. I would definitely recommend, if you see one of them, getting one of them. This Scheffler is looking good, so looking forward to this one this year. Over here, this small Dixonia is looking okay. Lophosaurus pulled through. This Cyathea is all blackened off, as we would imagine. It's unprotected in any sense, that, so yeah, we'll see if that one pulls through. Looks like there's a crozier coming up already. I think it's the rain activating it from the cold. Then we've got, something that has done quite well this winter is the old maidenhair, Adiantum venustum, Himalayan maidenhair fern. So I might get a few more of them as a bit of a ground cover. They look pretty good. The Cyathea, that's a Cyathea Cooper, which has got the coil on it, didn't help. Of course, it's not covered from anything here. And then the Fatsias, yes. Thinking about the Fatsias, because the first few I saw many moons ago were kind of like small trees, and I think that kind of led me down the path a bit, because the more I see them out and about, the more I see them get to like the height they are now, and then the tips blacken off, and then they sort of grow again from the bottom. So there's like a forest of stalks and then like a band of canopy at about head height. I don't want that because it looks a little bit straggly. So I think what I'm going to do with this one, there's 2 grow points that have sort of bit in the dust up there with the frost, I think. So we'll see how that does. And what I'm going to do with that is, I know that some of these leaves, these nice big leaves, are on it, but I'll probably cut them right the way down, almost not to the bottom, but maybe to the first join. If I have to lose a couple of the other grow points, which are all okay, then I will do. But yeah, I think that might keep it giving it that sort of jungle bushiness. But yeah, we'll see. So moving on round. Last bits now. The Hydrangea simanii looks okay, I guess. This Cyathea, the new fronds, as we suspected, didn't survive. The old fronds haven't survived as we expected. The bottom of it looks okay. We've got a new crozier coming up again already, so yeah, not too bad. Really in there, everything's just looking after itself. And then just down here we've got the Terrace Umbrosa and the Spider's Web there, so hopefully they'll kick on this year. other than that, there's not too much going on. If I just show you the small Scheffler in the pot's okay, Jasminoides doing okay. There's that cheese plant at the back there that really didn't like that, and this dragon tree or whatever it is, I forgot to take that in over the winter. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Can't complain really. Yeah, it's all just plotting now. Waterfall's the main thing, and like I said, there'll be another video for that specifically, which I'll do when I get a bit of time. So yeah, hope you've all had a good one, and yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.